Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another book tag. I'm actually starting to get tagged to do tag videos. Very exciting moment. I know I used to just do tag videos because I wanted to. I still stand by that. And I was tagged by Meagan from Meagan Precourt to do the If I Could book tag. I will link her video as well as the creators Bookworm Duo in the description box down below if you would like to check out their videos. It looked like a really fun tag when Meagan did it, so I'm really excited to do it today. I believe there are 10 questions, so let's just get on into the video. Question number 1. If you could change any book cover, what would you change? I would change Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins because this book cover is ugly. I've mentioned this before. It's hideous. It has the two people staring, trying to smize. You know that thing that Tyra Banks does? It's just not working for them. It's just not. She looks awkward, he looks awkward, whole lot of awkward. This book is very good. It's very interesting, it's very unique, it's different from anything else I've ever read. But the cover doesn't do it justice, and I feel like so many people are cover buyers. If I saw this sitting next to something that had a beautiful cover, I'm more likely to pick up that book than this book. That's what draws me in initially. I just think that this book, this story, deserves a better cover. I don't know what it would be. Cooler and just like more gripping cover than this monstrosity. All of the books in this series look like this pretty much, so it's hard to even decipher which one is which. Question number 2. If you could bring any character into our world, who would you bring? Obviously, I would bring one of my fictional boyfriends because who else would you pick for this tag? And I think my favorite fictional boyfriend is William Herondale from the Infernal Devices series. A lot of people really like him. I'm one of those people. I like dark, twisted male characters who have a soft spot because I like a little bit of sass and a little bit of rudeness in a man, but I like them to still be, you know, I don't want them to be cruel. I liked him before I even knew that it was a thing to like him. I read the series back in the day. I didn't even know BookTube existed. I didn't even watch YouTube videos at the time. Question number 3. If you could go into a book, which would it be? Oh, this one is such a hard one. I have 2, so I'm going to cheat. I'm going to name both of them. I would really like to be a witch in the Harry Potter series, and I would love to go to Hogwarts. Hello? Who doesn't want to go to Hogwarts? The school itself is terrifying. For some reason, millions of people want to go to a school that a lot of really terrible things happen at. Or, you know, if I can't do that, I wouldn't mind becoming a shadow hunter and going to the Institute in the Mortal Instruments series. I would rather do this than the Infernal Devices because I like the modern day and age. I like cell phones. I like the internet. I like pants. I like running water. So I would pick this one over the Infernal Devices. I think I would fare better in this time period. Ooh, I would really like to be in the Dark Artifices technically because I would love to live in Los Angeles over New York. I would like to be written into that series, please. Please, I want to be a shadow hunter. Question number 4. If you could have any animal from any book, which would it be? I'm going to cheat a little bit with this question as well, but this was based on a book. But I want the movie version. I want Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon so bad. This dragon is amazing. If you haven't seen this movie, I don't know where you have been living because this movie is fantastic and amazing, and I love it so very much. I love Toothless, and I would love to have a Toothless. He's very cat-like for a dragon, and I really like cats, so maybe that's why. Plus I can ride him. I can't ride on my cat. The minute I saw this movie, I was like, I need one of those. Question number 5. If you could kill any character from any book, who would it be? I'm going to tweak this one a little bit too. I'm going to pick a TV show, but the TV show is based off of a book, but I haven't read the book, and I have seen the show, so I'm going to pick the show instead. And that is any Lannister from A Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh. They're all awful. Like all of them. Not one person in that family is redeeming. I like Tyrion. We could let Tyrion live. Cersei though, she can go. She causes so much shit. She causes so many issues. She doesn't need to be around. In this last season, she had some very humiliating things happen to her, and I did not feel sorry for her. She brings it all on herself. Sticks her nose in all these other little deeds, and those people go out and do those deeds, and then those deeds affect other things. Eventually, this whole big thing happens, and you forget that it was even Cersei who started it because so many other people have taken her little advice and rolled with it. And I don't like her dad, Tywin. He's awful. I don't like her cousins, but she's the worst. Oh, Joffrey. Joffrey was pretty damn bad too. Oh, I can't stand Joffrey. Ugh. Question number 6. If you could bring any character back to life, who would it be? Now this is a spoiler, so if you haven't completed the series or you don't know about this, I would mute me until the book goes down, and then you can resume watching because I don't want to spoil this for you. You ready? Spoilers our beginning. I would bring back Prim from Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I think killing Prim was such a counterproductive twist. A lot of people have a lot of issues with Mockingjay. I'm okay with pretty much everything except for Prim dying, because the whole purpose of the series, the reason that Katniss even volunteered for that very first Hunger Games, was because of her sister. She wanted to save her sister, and the fact that her sister still died at the end of the book kind of makes me feel like what Katniss did was all for naught. She never wanted to be this symbol of revolution. She never wanted to be the Mockingjay. She just, at her core, wanted to save her sister. And in the end, her sister still dies in what is basically the 76th Hunger Games. It was the one thing about this book that I really did not like. Was that really necessary to kill Prim? I mean, you killed the whole center of your story. The reason that Katniss does anything is for her sister. Does that mean that regardless of what we do for those we love, they're never safe? We can never really protect them? Is that like the message she's trying to send? The spoiler section has commenced. You may rejoin. Question number 7. If you could have any author write you as a character, who would it be? I would have 2 authors write me in their series. Let's get the obvious one out of the way first. Cassandra Clare, write me as a Shadowhunter, please. Obviously, I want to be a Shadowhunter. We've already established this, and if she could just write me into any of her series, I'd be cool with that, but since that's so obvious, I'm going to move on to my second. I would love for Sarah J. Maas to write me into her Throne of Glass or ACOTAR series. So cool to see myself as like a high fae or any kind of fae. I would love to see what Sarah would do with me as a person, as a character, what kind of magical creature she would see me as. I really liked those books. I'm really enjoying them right now. I love her writing. It's just intoxicating. That's a recent favorite. Question number 8. If you could be any magical creature from a book, which would you be? Shadowhunter. Which? This has already been established. You've beaten this point to death. Number 9. If you could change any ending to any book, which would it be? And how would you change it? Again, we're going to talk about some spoilers, but if you haven't heard about the spoiler, don't know where you've been, remute me if you haven't read the book, and then when the book goes down, you can unmute me again. I would change all of Allegiant, not just the end of the book. I would change the whole book. The ending was at least action-packed and gripping and kept me interested. The beginning was boring and dull and an info dump. I don't like the way that she revealed the world to us. I don't like that I spent the first 2 books thinking that these characters were going through this great revolution and were invoking so much change to find out that they were a science experiment. That pissed me off more than anything else I've ever read. Like, no. I was so invested in these characters and this world and what they were doing. I believed in them and I felt so empowered by Tris. To find out that they're not even making any remarkable accomplishments was just irritating. I was so pissed. The world was just going on about its normal business outside the gates of Chicago. What? I also did not like the whole GP thing. That was a bunch of load of crap too, and how the Divergent weren't special people, but they were actually the norm that they were striving for and everybody else was damaged. I didn't like how we find out that 4 isn't even actually a Divergent. He had like a false positive on his test. What, is he taking a pregnancy test? No! And he took it so hard. Oh, I didn't like that either. And then the ending, when she died, that also just, ew, was like the icing on the cake to making this whole book just rant over. We can move on now. I don't know how I would change it, so we're gonna move on to the next question. Question number 10. If you could switch places with any character, who would you switch places with? I actually am having a really hard time picking a character for this one because so many books that I read are either fantasy-based or they are dystopian-based. Therefore, a lot of the books that I read, the characters have very traumatic lives and live in societies that I really wouldn't want to live in. Now, I would like to live in the Harry Potter world, but I don't want to be actually any of those characters because I don't actually want to go through what they go through. Like, I'll live there now once they've defeated Voldemort and all of those issues have been taken care of. I can't think of like a specific character that I would want to be. So, a character that I would want to be. Here's a really safe option. If I had to pick one, I would want to be Izzy from the Mortal Instruments because I feel like she goes through a lot of crap, but it's not like the center crap. She's not like the character in the book who is like the chosen one, or the one that the whole world's future rests on their shoulders. You know, she's a side character. She gets to be in the action, she gets to have fun, and she gets to do all the cool things. So she doesn't have to do like the really heavy lifting, which is what I like. That was it. That was the last question for the if I could, what would I do book tag. I feel like this tag has just been like Harry Potter, Mortal Instruments. Let me fangirl about my 2 favorite series of all time. If you would like to do this tag, I tag you to do it. You're officially tagged. I'm going to tag Sara from Sara Ella and Sara without an H, because I think that Sara without an H would have some really fun answers for this, so I'm definitely tagging her. It was a lot of fun to see the kind of things that you would change about some of your favorite or not so favorite books. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and until next time, I will talk to you very soon. Bye!